If you're anything like me, you're probably a big Bethesda fan. I've played and replayed these games so many times over the years, and Fallout 4 is no exception to this. Fallout 4 gets a lot of hate, and don't get me wrong, I do have my issues with the game, but I've still enjoyed my time with it. However, I've completely ruined myself on base game Fallout 4, and here's how. It wasn't any fancy mods or DLC or anything like that. It was something included in every single copy of Fallout 4 on every platform. This cursed feature is survival mode. I can no longer replay Fallout 4 unless it's on survival mode. I've tried multiple times to replay the game on normal difficulty, but each time it just kind of fizzles out. However, I've had at least 5 full playthroughs, DLC included, on survival mode. I truly believe that survival mode is the definitive way to play Fallout 4, and if I don't have you convinced of this by the end of the video, I don't know, make fun of me in the comments or something, I guess. For those of you that aren't familiar, survival mode has a few key differences from vanilla Fallout 4. For one, combat and the damage model has been completely changed. The player's incoming damage has been doubled, while outgoing damage has been increased by 150%. This means you take more damage, but you also deal more damage as well. Enemies also no longer appear in your compass, so you have to rely on your senses to locate threats. There's also a new perk that's only in survival mode, Adrenaline. For every 5 kills you get in quick succession, your adrenaline will increase by 5%, which just gives you a flat 5% damage boost. This scales all the way up to 50%, but the boost goes away whenever you sleep. This incentivizes and rewards a more aggressive playstyle. There aren't just changes to combat though, there are a plethora of other general gameplay changes. Food, water, and sleeping are now necessities. There are invisible timers going on in the background constantly as you play that calculate how hungry, thirsty, or tired you are. If you don't take care of these needs, multiple debuffs are added to your character, which eventually lead to death. Other changes include the removal of fast travel, a much lower default carry weight, and the ability to only save while sleeping. Now these changes range from minor inconveniences to game-changing mechanics, but they all come together to bring a gameplay experience you can't beat. Let's look at the lack of fast travel, for example. In Fallout 4, there are so many unmarked locations that you probably won't find if all you do is fast travel from location to location. Without fast travel, you quickly learn which routes are safe and which should be avoided. You really feel like a survivor, slinking and sneaking your way through ruined cities and irradiated wastes. Combine this with a food and water system, and now you have to plan each expedition you embark upon. The lack of fast travel and lower carry weight means you can't just grab every piece of junk you encounter. You have to methodically pick and choose which resources are worth taking up what little space you have. Out exploring and your power armor took damage? Better start looking for a repair station, some scrap metal. Went out for a trek but didn't bring enough food? Better hope you can raid a local grocery store or service station. With the removal of just this one feature, so many new ones have cropped up. Not only that, but it adds to and complements pre-existing systems in the game. The settlement system in Fallout 4 was a good idea, but at the end of the day, its only real purpose is to generate revenue and, look cool, right? However, in survival mode, settlements are an absolute necessity. In a world where you can't fast travel, everyone is deadlier, and you can only save with beds, guaranteed safe zones to top off on resources is an incredibly valuable thing to have. The perk Local Leader allows the player to establish trade routes and even open businesses in created settlements. This is a good way to get caps in the base game, yet an absolute godsend in survival. It somehow manages to flesh out the settlement system while not changing anything about it. Instead, it changes the game around it. That seems to be a big factor in survival mode. It takes a game mechanic that was present in normal mode and frames the game to make this once obsolete mechanic a more prominent one. Look at cooking, for example. There are a huge variety of recipes that grant bonuses, but most players will never use them, and why should they? Stimpaks heal incredibly quickly and weigh nothing, so why should I waste my time cooking food? In survival mode, not only do you need to eat, Stimpaks heal much slower and now have weight. It's become much less advantageous to use Stimpaks, so cooking has just become much more useful. Power armor in normal mode could feel more like a chore than an advantage sometimes. In survival, it could mean the difference between life and death. The Brotherhood relay grenades are useless in normal mode, yet invaluable in survival mode. If you're someone like me who had played Fallout 4 multiple times before, it'll force you to completely change how you see the game. While I do love survival mode and it's my definitive way to play Fallout 4, it isn't perfect. And games that are as full of features as Bethesda games are, only being able to save at beds can be a real nightmare. There have been countless times where I've fallen off the map or got killed by a random piece of game geometry, only to lose tons of progression. I could see how the new save system could be a huge turnoff for most people, and honestly, I wouldn't fault anyone for downloading some type of quick save mod. While the game is much more hardcore and deadly early on, at later levels, the difficulty becomes akin to that of normal mode, just with a few extra steps. Once you get the meta down, food, water, and carry weight basically become non-issues. In fact, you kinda start running on autopilot anytime after level 30-ish, which that could be said about base game as well. I think the biggest issue most people will have with survival mode is a time commitment. Some people don't have a lot of time to play games, they may only have a couple hours a week here and there. If you can only play for 30 minutes a day, you'll probably end up walking to your destination, getting sniped or eaten by some horrifying creature, then have to put the game down. I'm obviously a no-lifer who can invest plenty of hours in it at a time, but it's not like that for everyone. Even with these issues at hand, I still highly recommend you give survival mode a chance. It might take a couple hours to get used to the new gameplay loop, but it'll be worth it in the end. I hope survival mode becomes a series staple and it's present and improved upon in future games. It is easily one of the most immersive gaming experiences I've had in recent memory. No other game captures the struggles and perils of post-apocalyptic survival quite like this, and it's for this reason that I can't go back to normal mode. There's just something missing that's present in survival mode. I don't find myself diligently making plans to walk across the map, only for all those plans to go wrong. I'm not frantically ducking down during intense firefights trying to conserve what little ammo I have. It's just not the same for me. Have you guys played Fallout 4 survival mode, and if so, what do you think about it? Is it your preferred way to play, or are you more of a normal mode kind of guy? There's no shame. If you liked the video, liking and subscribing is the best way to help the channel out a lot. We also have a channel Discord you can join with the link down below. Lastly, I also do have channel memberships now. If you become a channel member, you get one member exclusive video per month. On me. You earned it, buddy. I think that's all for me. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.